start drying out the soil. So you don't want your plant to sit in that wet muck all night long, because it will rot the root system. Okay? I mean, you might not see it immediately, but believe me, after a while, it'll take its, especially junipers. Those junipers, before you know it, they're starting to change color, and if you're not aware of what that color should be, you might even miss that color for the longest time until it's almost too late, because of the fungus that's setting into it. So, be careful, okay? Just be careful. So, I honestly suggest that you don't just bypass this baby. December, January, when the sap is totally down, no leaves on it, that's when you work with the root system, okay? And I would, even if you just pull it out and shear the bottom part and put new soil in there with the rocks, your new roots are going to start diving down into that root, the new mix, and the bottom roots will be healthier.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Which will help the plant.
It makes sense, because it really hasn't thickened up. I've had my 3 main trees I've had probably in here for 5 years already, and they haven't thickened up at all, really.
Because you have a tremendous amount of trees in a small area with, I mean, the total root structures was probably so crunched in there, that the plants are having problems. Okay? I mean, you do have a lot of new growth on there, which is a plus.
Right.
Yeah. But still, it's the root structure that we're very interested in with this at this point. All right? So, my suggestion is make sure that you clean this. You can leave it around the perimeter or a center area, but where it comes to the trunk itself, around the trunks of the trees, get this garbage out of here and clean the moss off of your plants, okay? Because that will only destroy. I mean, it looks gorgeous, but it will kill your plant after a while with that moss growing up on it. Now, see how wet it's staying? Yes. That only means it's going to encourage more rot.
Because I didn't even water it today. It was watered yesterday morning.
And still, it's soaking wet. Okay. We had it. Is it outside or is it inside?
Yeah, but it wasn't. No, it's outside.
Okay. Well,
no, it was in the garage last night. Yeah, so it didn't get any. It didn't get any water from yesterday morning too.
You've got to be careful, guys. You've taken a plant that will grow naturally out there, and its roots will dive deep and get the nutrition it needs, and now we're growing it into a enclosed container, right? It's like raising a child. That's what you got to do. You got to learn the plant.
They don't back talk.
Yeah,
they just die.
The most important thing is to learn the plant and find out what you can get away with the plant. I mean, I have killed my fair share by pushing them to the max, and trying to figure out, okay, I got to stop here in order to keep it alive. Okay? Right? So that's what we're going to do with this. But all the inside branches, okay, take them out. You don't need branches growing inside the forest. Believe me, until you've really walked through a forest and seen this, and fortunately, I live in an area now, it's called Lumber City, the closest town. Called Lumber City for a reason. Because way back, the lumber, right near the Altamaha River, there's a ramp through there, and that's where they used to float the logs down. Lumber City. You can drive around for miles and you just see woodland after woodland with pine trees, straight guys, and there's no branches in the center. Even when the small ones come in, they're 4, 5 years old, 6 years old clusters. Inside, there's no branches. Get to the top on the outside, you will see branches. Okay? Branching needs something. And you've got to emulate that situation. where it's a true forest. There's nothing inside that's going to block off the movement of the trunk. That's what you want to do. Okay? Any questions?
How would you gin that straight stick?
This, scrape it off, get a knife, maybe even break it and snap it so that it looks raw. Okay? We still use lime sulfur. I heard that it's not available. I still have a full bottle. You can still get it painted with lime sulfur because that will protect the wood. It'll keep it a lot longer. Okay? But you've got to make it look like not a cut. That's not natural. A break and a tear. Yeah? And you can even get that tear going further down. Don't be afraid. Create that gin. Make it look like a natural break. Okay?
All right.
All righty.
Can you just talk about leaf placement? Is this going to grow natural, or are you going to grow it horizontal? How are you going to?
What
the branch placement? Branch placement.
The branch placing. Okay, what we want to do is, especially out here, we want to get them to come out. Where it just, the tree, an old tree, the older branches as they get heavier are going to droop. Okay, the middle tree they come, above that a little bit more, and only on the top they're reaching for the light. Okay, so down here you want to start sorting out. Okay, here's a strong branch. We got a good one going there. Let's take that one off. There's too much in this area. Don't get carried away and be afraid to remove the branches, guys. Because let's face it, you remove a branch that you feel, oh, I shouldn't have removed that. You give it a year or two, it'll grow back again. Yeah. So don't be afraid. Yeah? And you'll see there's an old branch there with the new stuff. Take that new stuff off. Yeah? There's a beautiful branch there. There's a nice branch right there. That's coming in through there. That's going through the center. Here we're coming up again, but there's two growing there. You want to separate it, have one branch. Yeah? Don't be afraid. Here's another one. We're going to shorten it. It's going to be longer on the bottom, and as you go up, they'll get shorter. Okay? And, but don't be afraid to take them off. And here you have a new apex, which is perfect, but trim that a little bit more so that you can see that new apex coming up. Yeah? And it is a little bit weak, so be careful. Maybe not even all the way to that point, and let it, and hey ladies, you use hard as nails, right? You got new cuts, paint them with hard as nails. That'll stop the bugs from going in. I have my fair share of hard as nails at home, as you can see. All right, so I want you to pull this apart, and anything growing on the inside, don't be afraid, take it out, wire this branch out. You've got some nice movement in here. And any branches, when you get that branch out, anything growing on the bottom, clean them off. Because the sun doesn't get to the bottom, so you don't want to develop the bottom branches. You want to develop them on the sides and a couple on the top.
I think once it is this, you can probably
Oh, we can see that, but now you've got a little bit of time, so concentrate on it. Let's clean it up and we'll get back to you. Okay?
Sounds good.
Cool. Any questions here, guys? Any more questions? Don't hesitate. The shape you want to really either on the side or on the center coming down. Yeah. Okay. When you're doing the forest, you've got two options. Am I standing inside the forest looking out, or am I standing outside the forest looking in? Now, if I'm standing outside the forest looking in, the smaller trees are on the outside, going up. If I'm standing inside the forest, I'm standing next to the biggest tree, and I'm looking out, and they're getting smaller as I'm going out. All right? And that's your view that you want to, you got to make up your mind. Where am I standing? Yep. how is it going to grow? Are they going to be big? You cannot have the big one here and then a whole bunch of small ones and another big one here. It doesn't grow that way. Because when its saplings start coming up, if they don't get enough sun, they're going to die in that shaded area on a consistent basis. You want to keep it as natural as possible. Okay?